Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. Stan Grava along with Chip Didier, 2025 Bayou Region Athletic Hall of Fame inductee. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited about it. This is really a big honor to me, and I'm very, very humble about it.
So June 18th is actually the night this all happens over at Cypress Columns. You're going to be celebrated with 6 others. Not only that, there's an intro video that sort of, as much as you can encapsulate a person's life, you know, in 15 minutes, there's going to be that video. But one of the things I get to do, I get to sit there when the interview process is going on, and I was fascinated when we were talking to you. When you were 9 years old, you basically didn't know where Thibodaux, Louisiana was, right?
The only thing I knew about Thibodaux is we passed through it going to Grand Isle from Baton Rouge. That was it.
And your dad is coming off of baseball coaching at LSU. He's coming off of, in those days, I think you had to coach football a little bit too. So they won the 1958 national championship, which he was a part of. He was on that staff. Yeah. And you moved to Thibodaux. What was sort of the switch for you where this is home? Because now, Chip, you know, we sit around and if somebody mentions Chip Didier, we associate Thibodaux. Yeah. You know, that's a Thibodaux guy. Mm-hmm. What was the key for you? Because you love Thibodaux now, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
When was it? You said a story, and I'm going to prompt you into it. You came in as like a 9-10-year-old. They put you on the mound for one of the little teams in the area, right? And they let you pitch.
Well, my dad tricked me because I didn't want to go. I loved LSU. I loved Baton Rouge. I was on a Little League baseball team, Little League football, everything. And I was successful. I was having fun. And all my friends were there. And he came in and said, how would you think about moving to Thibodaux? And I said, no, I'm not going to Thibodaux. And he said, okay. So then he hashed out a plan to bring me to Thibodaux to show me around. And then I was going to play in a Little League game that night at Thibodaux and pitch. And I didn't know anything about it. And he came and said, we're going to visit Thibodaux. I'm not committing anything. He said, I want to visit it too, but I want you to come with me. I said, okay. So we went, and we went to the ballpark probably about 6 o'clock, and they had a game at 7 or something like that. And he just said, I want you to meet somebody. And Billy Chapman was a big name in Thibodaux at that time in the recreation department. And he came over and talked to me and said, I'd like you to play on my team tonight. And I'm like, I don't have a uniform. I don't have my glove. Daddy said, I got your glove. I got your cleats and all that. And he pulled a bag out and he had the uniform and everything. He gave it to me. He said, and by the way, you're going to pitch. He said, you're okay with that? I said, I'm fine. That's fun. I said, okay. So we went out and we won the game like 2-1, and all the boys were really excited. I was excited. And on the way home, Dad said, well, what you think about Thibodaux? I said, I think I'd be fine.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Listen, you talk about baseball. I mean, your dad's family is they're the guru of baseball, right, in Louisiana, considering, you know, your uncle is Mel Didier. Yep. And Bob, you know, Didier was the catcher for Phil Negro for the Braves. And that's one thing interesting, you were telling us, you know, you were 9 or 10, but you met Roger Maris and you met Mickey Mantle and all of those guys. So we would think that baseball was it for you, but it was circumstance that you sort of became the godfather of volleyball in this area, and that circumstance was?
Well, it wasn't expected, I can promise you that. Baseball was in my blood. I thought that's all I wanted to do was coach baseball. In fact, when I went to Nichols, I was playing baseball for a little while, and I threw my arm off, so I just moved on from that. But I wanted to be in the coaching of baseball, and that was my goal. And I just got kind of trapped into it. The principal offered me the baseball job, but it wasn't going to start until like a year or 2 later.
Correct, because that school didn't have it at the time.
It was junior high, and they were going to become a high school. So he asked me, he said, if you come and you do me a favor and you take these sports first, then I will make you our head baseball coach without any experience in it. Well, I had experience coaching Legion ball and stuff like that. Right. But I said, okay, but I don't know anything about this other sport, volleyball. Because he said, you're going to coach girls volleyball, girls basketball, girls softball. I was fine in basketball and I was fine in softball, but volleyball, I knew absolutely zero. So to make a long story short, because it can get really long, is that my roommate in college, his sister was an all-state player at Episcopal High School, and they won state championships every year. So she came with some other all-star players and did clinics for us and showed us how to play and showed me what to do, and I just sat back and wrote and
So
watched.
you learned.
And I learned. And I called coaches, and I'd go to their homes, and I'd pick their brains and learn and learn and learn. Because my dad was, one thing about him was that whatever sport you are in or you coach, you do the best that you can. Do not slight it because you don't like it as much as baseball or like it as much as another sport.
Correct.
And I made up my mind I was going to be the best coach of anything I attempted to do, and it just worked out really well in volleyball.
Very good, very good. You failed to mention that young lady actually became the head coach at LSU.
Head coach at LSU.
For like 20 years.
And now she is the general manager of the Las Vegas, I'm not sure of their name.
A pro volleyball team.
They just started a pro league, and she's the head general manager of it.
Do you ever sit down and consider how many young ladies' lives you affected?
I know a lot of them affected my life, a lot, because if it wouldn't have been for them and their wanting to be successful and accepting the way I coached and the way we did things, and still today I'm Facebook friends with a lot of them. They call me, we talk a lot. Every birthday is a happy birthday by all of us. And I'm with club ball, you're talking in the thousands.
Yeah,
with
it's
club
amazing.
ball.
It's amazing. That's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Time runs out so quick. Even when we were doing the interview, it was so just kind of like engaging to think of all of this. And that night, we really want to celebrate you big time. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. I want to thank you and Mr. Martin, and I thank the committee for this, because it's a tremendous honor, and I don't slight it at all. I think it's one of the highest marks of my life, so I appreciate it.
Very good. Raymond Chip Didier Jr. going in with 5 other inductees that night, and it's going to be a wonderful night. Again, June 18th over at Cypress Columns. Going to have a lot of fun that night.
I'm waiting. I can't wait.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.